Okay, here's the deal. Um, okay, I'm gonna wait for like a minute to see if somebody comes to watch this live stream before I reveal the absolutely futile reason that I'm live. So once again, I'm here live streaming because I realized that some of the live streams have that I had done in the past in 2020 had become great ways to look at how I was thinking a year ago, which is a great way to archive yourself, I think. And I recently went over a couple of them to see, I've basically unlisted pretty much all of them because I'm like, yeah, this guy's weird, fuck that. So I removed a lot of them. And, and, but then I realized that it's not so bad to, record yourself and just like communicate with the guys and just say hi, and also like try and see what kind of conversations are active at that particular in that particular month, in that particular year. It's like timestamp that's created and is on the internet, whether it's live or not. So there are two live streams that are public at the moment on the YouTube channel that actually I felt are important enough to be present over there. They're like kind of self interviews that are substantial for that particular year to describe what I might be up to, and hence they're up. Testing testicles testing, however, is a bit of a disappointing title to this particular video because I will not be sharing my testicles on this one. Not this one anyway. We'll probably use another website for that one. But for now, it's gonna be me drinking water, talking to you guys, saying hi till whatever time my attention lasts, and kind of trying to like maybe help you out with like what's up or like trying to know what you guys are up to, etc. Um, so that's that. It's been a whole ride in the past couple of months, I assume, for everybody, in one way or another, as every advertising brand would call it in these challenging times. We must stand together and buy this product. But I am not here to sell a product right now. I'm here to to tell you guys about some stuff which I may not be able to share on other platforms or keep live in public for a long time anyway. This is a wine bottle. I'm not getting drunk. Fooled you. This was absolutely alcohol. But anyways, hmm, so when you're 24, which is me, I'm 24 now. you start you start seeing life in a slightly different way from when you were looking at it when you were 22. um and I think that I don't know what happens next, by the way. Just like saying this is, I have no fucking idea what happens when you're 25 or 26, because I'm sure it's gonna get weirder. But I'm 24 and I think it's super weird to be 24, because I don't feel like anything. You don't see a when you age, or like when you're like growing older. I feel like people just don't people just including me, I mean, people, humans, probably have an expectation of like being a different person when they're older, or like a lot having happened and you feeling like a different person. But I think as I'm going to an age where I'm able to call myself an adult, or somebody who's going towards being an independent person, I feel like that's kind of disappearing. The idea of like you being a different person, or you being for you, probably not, probably in some ways you've experienced in the way of like executing the decisions that you make and the kind of decisions that you make and what you think is interesting and stuff, that changes, but the person inside kind of remains the same. And I feel like it's not going to change forever, and that's what's coming to me now. So that's something new. Responsibilities are, they're like, oh, now you don't have responsibilities, but soon there will be some responsibilities. And then what are you gonna do? And like you start thinking in like, oh shit, and yeah, it's true, because I kind of see some stuff happening, and you know that kind of stuff's happening. I got I'm going to read the message now that the live stream stuff, that the life experience thing, and maybe I'll be able to share that in this stream. So yeah, hold on to that. TBH, to be honest, what subject did you choose when you were in London? I'm kind of figuring my life out. Sure. I mean, I just studied film for a very, very brief period of time. I had studied I tried to do film school in India, and I didn't enjoy it because I don't have a lot of stuff to look up to when it comes to Indian filmmaking. So I try to go there just to understand how is it different. Why do people go abroad and study? What is it? So I did a 1.5 month long trip to London and try to figure it out. And once I was there, in all honesty, had no intentions of coming back. But here I am. But film, like, I have no idea. You guys are 19. That's fucking amazing. That's great, dude. Like, that's amazing. Like, just it's beautiful to be young in general. Like for me also, I'm also young, but like just I feel like I realize how it's beautiful to be young, which I didn't realize. But now I'm realizing it's beautiful to be young. Because old people suck balls. Am I loading? Yeah, I'm loading the fucking cash in my fucking pockets at all time. Um, Long time no see. Yes. Hi Parag. Hi Ashi. Hi Ronak. Um, I'm a culinary student. If you remember me, that's great, dude. I mean, I remember all your names. I'm just terrible with with memory. So if you one day come up and say that, hey, you remember that thing that you told me, that I told you like half a day ago? No idea. I'm just very bad with my memory in general. Um, Now it sucks to be young. Yeah, sure, it sucks to be young too. True, because you don't have money and you have no time and like everybody's like fucking pissed off. Like, okay, so the experience that happened. All right, let's get to that fucking shit. So the Goa thing, what happened is I am a director and I'm usually hired as an independent director on multiple production houses or clients. Wait, clients want to make ads. They hire an agency or a production house to make that ad. The production house or agency looks for a director to lead that particular ad thing, and that's where I come into the picture, or many of the other directors come into the picture. And through that means, because of the work experience I may have, or the treatment that I may pitch, or in most cases, an amalgamation of the two, I am hired as a director. And in the past 3-4 years that I've been doing that, um, I've learned whatever I have. And here is something new that I learned. When an older person comes and tells me that the world's very tricky and people are bad and you should, be all up on your, just be up on your feet at all times. Don't listen to anybody. They're all looking for money and they're all just, treacherous people. And I feel like, fuck that. It's like, don't have that like pessimistic approach to things. Just, enjoy, like, just, there are nice people out there. And that's how I believe life is. But there was something that broke that particular thing today. Today means 4 months ago in February. When I worked with this production house, I should ideally be calling them out on social media at some point, but I think I will wait till I can do a more wise version of that. But I will. There's a production house that I worked with in Goa. What happened is, I'm usually, whenever I'm hired, I'm hired for the treatment that I've made and or the work that I've done, because then they're looking for something that I can offer to that particular project. But here, an interesting thing happened. I was at a hostel and I was spending my time writing, so I'd been inactive with everything else, and I'd been staying in a cottage inside the hostel in Goa, and had been there for a couple of days or weeks. And there was a woman there who was a, a costume designer, and she had been out of work for a while, and I think she'd been doing M is, I would assume, MD, MA, but I have no idea. She said M. uh, so that, anyways, point. She said that she wanted to work. She said starting to look. She'd been looking for work recently, and I was not doing anything. I had no interest in doing anything, so I was just like hanging around. I would go into the pantry sometimes. I would just see her around the same premises, and she came along, and she one day just said to me that she's gotten an offer by a director that she knows, who's a commercial director, to come and work as a costume designer or whatever, stylist or something, on that particular commercial. So I said, cool for you. And she said, hey, can you drop me to that office, to the production office that's in Goa itself? And I said, I don't have a bike on me. I don't have a vehicle on me. So we probably ask somebody else who know better possibly to do that. And as it turns out, she says, would you I'll get you a vehicle. I'll get you an Activa. Can you drop me then? And it was strange for me right now that, and then as well, when I was like, Why me? But okay. So she got some Activa from somewhere. I went 15 minutes down from that place to drop her to the production company. I dropped her. I said, okay, cool. Either I'm going to go back, or if you need me to hang around, I can wait outside. She said, why? Come inside. I said, okay. And then I went inside and I sat behind her because there are two chairs. This is like Portuguese villa, where like this 55-year-old man has been like possibly 55. He looks, I don't know how old he is. But he was the director, very quaint and sitting down in front of his huge iMac and just kind of sitting and showing his treatment for a commercial that he's about to direct soon. And he came in and he says that he starts like showing the deck, and I thought it was interesting. It's always nice to see somebody else's, like, learn from like somebody else's filmmaking. And so I was just sitting behind her, and then he assumed that I was the costume designer's assistant, because costume designers often don't come with their assistant so that somebody can take notes, etc. But I wasn't, and she told me that she told him that I'm a filmmaker, etc. And then that ended up eventually leading into me explain like showing some of my work to him, and he felt quite interested in it. And 2 days later he said, would you like to direct a part of the same commercial that I'm doing? And I thought, I don't know what directing 1 or 2 scenes in a commercial is like, and at the same time I don't really mind, because it doesn't seem like too much responsibility to just direct 1 or 2 parts. But so yeah, sure, like, you know never say no to something in the beginning, at least. And so yeah, started with that. 2 days after that, the producer of that particular project was supposed to call me up and discuss finances or whatever. And she calls me up and she says, hey, the director that I was speaking that was supposed to direct this is too busy because he's doing a film and web show and stuff, and you might want to see if you'd want to be a part of the whole commercial, if you'd like to direct the whole commercial. I said, that's too much responsibility. I don't know about that, because I came to Goa to be doing a very specific project, and this is just something that's like I don't know about that. And then she said something which I still think about. She said, you're going to direct 2 scenes from that film. It's not that you're going to be not responsible for those 2 scenes, so why not do the whole thing? And I don't know how to counter that, because true, be um, I will be like responsible for it, but it's a huge difference, because I'm not project head, I'm the scene head. Like it makes a little bit of a difference. And um, something happened. I spoke to the people I trust, and eventually I took that project up as a director. Um, it was a bad idea. Here's the deal: work with people who you think appreciate you and you love back, and will respect your boundaries and have boundaries as well. Here's my approach to whatever I know. Whatever I said didn't make sense at all, but I went through a really difficult time, because these guys were ultra intimidating, did not like the work that I was providing, were forcing me to do things that I did not want to do. I'm a team player. They wanted me to be a dictator. I wanted to make sure that my crew is happy, because I work like that. And I want to make sure that they're getting what they need, and I trust them on things. They want me to be fighting and shouting and making sure things go my way. And I wasn't functioning like that. That guy didn't care about people. I cared about people at that time anyway. And it led to a whole trench of me realizing that the client, the person, the brand that I was working with is actually huge, is a very condescending, superficial person who never spoke even during the pre-production meeting, which is usually a meeting that you have to be able to make sure everything's in place with the client. They never spoke about the movie at all. They just spoke about how their dog was to be fed, etc., which was, anyways, I don't know if I'm ready yet to be able to explain the whole thing. But the point is that I was supposed to get paid in February, or like February, by the end of when the project was completed. And I was supposed to take my money, continue staying in Goa, complete my complete my the work that I came there for. And that didn't happen. The project did not get submitted, or they did not get back. They said that the plan needs more changes. They had a budget for something that they could not pull off. The producer had agreed to make something that a narcissistic client like them would never understand. Like they wanted some really fancy product shots and stuff, which which were not possible to shoot. The DP that had flown down from the DOP, the cinematographer that had flown down from Bombay for us, had also clearly stated that this is not going to happen in the way that we're doing it. And we were like, and I, me being the team player that I was, thought, cool, let's trust the producer and this older director who's saying things, and let's experiment. And we did, but apparently I should never do that, because when they're asking you to do something, you're just supposed to say no. And I usually don't do say no. I say fuck, let's try it. Uh, but I should have said no, because it came back too hard on me. And then there's a dog who's also present in. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, it comes back on you. So basically, put your foot down on stuff. And I didn't put my foot down on stuff. I just said, fine, let's see how it goes. And here's how it went. 4 months after waiting and trying to get back on things, stopped refusing they stopped calling me. They stopped they stopped replying to my messages and phone calls. They decided to release the commercial and never tell me that it's released. So the film, the film released, it went up, and then some actor tagged me on the on the on the Instagram page, and I realized, oh shit, it's out. Oh shit, it's been re-edited. Okay, and 15 days, 10, 15 days after that, after me still trying to get in touch with them, refusing to get back to me. They paid everybody else and didn't pay me. Um, and then that was very weirdly hurtful. Then I mailed them saying, hey, I'll have to look it into, again, trying to ask what's up. They mailed me back saying my work was unsubstantial, that you're a young director, you were supposed to be controlled by a creative supervisor, you didn't do your job, we're not paying you. This is 4.5 months after that, and that somebody telling you that your work, after working hard, somebody telling you that your work's not good, 4 months after a project is done, and telling them that the client thought I was a zombie on set. Like, just like brutally sad things that make one go like, that's not true, I didn't do that, I was quite just fake, very, very, like, lots of lies otherwise also, where like I was being, it was tough, like just a lot of lies that are, that hurt you in a way. And I was then, all my family and all the people, legal advisor, the producer that I trust, the friends that I have, kind of came and tried to tell me that when you take up a court case against these people, if they're lying, then they're going to go on for a while, and they're going to do this for a while, and it's going to be very expensive to take them to court. And it's going to be very expensive and time taking for you and I mean, when I started reading the pointers that they've made, those pointers were so brutally hurtful and untrue that for me, I felt first off very angry and hurt. But at the same time, once I realized that if I had to make pointers against these particular people, I would have to spend time trying to come up with like screenshots and trying to speak to people who I trust, whom I actually worked with whom they're saying I've like whatever. But I'd have to put myself into that, and it would take about 5 to 6 years. It would take up a lot of money, a lot more than I was supposed to be paid anyway, to actually get them to court. And the things that they were saying were completely dirty, and it would be fucking up your mental health. So I feel like I really wanted to fight them. I wanted to take them to court. I wanted to send them a legal notice. And every week that went by since has made me feel very tough, because I realized that if a person has no intention to pay you, and if the person thinks that like, if they don't respect you, if you don't have an agreement, and if you're not taking an advance for the job that you're going to do, and if you've just been like, cool, I trust these people, I think they're going to be nice people, I think that we'll have a working relationship, I feel like I'm a hard worker, they will understand that, and they will compensate for the same. It's like unfortunate to realize that the world doesn't work like that. So that's what I learned. I learned that it's difficult to understand who a person really is. I learned that you need to have the courage to put your foot down and say no to something. And I learned that if you don't value yourself and are able to be upfront and about it, then it's not good. So yeah, this is what I learned. Uh, Still going through it, but like pretty much towards a closure, because of, again, my friends and family who've been like super fucking cool and like really helpful through this whole thing, and have been able to speak about their experiences with this, and have spoken about a broken judicial system, and stuff. Uh, and I don't want to spend, me being 24, I don't want to spend the next couple of years of my life and money and time and energy, emotional energy, um, in like being able to speak to them or like trying to create a case for them. I'm going to read what has been written. It's not about money. Yeah, it's not about money. You were working with Aditya Verma a while ago. How was that? Aditya Verma is literally here. Hey, dude, we just submitted our commercial yesterday, apparently. Planet told me that we've just completed the campaign and we've submitted it and it should be possibly out in a week or more, maybe. But fuck. That's been like we Aditya and I started working on a project almost, I don't know, man. When was it? April, May? I don't know. March, April, May, something. March, probably. And we're just completed end March. Yeah, we just completed a delivery on that. So fuck. And Alta, I mean, I don't know. I think we should go like Alta, we should do a live together, man. We should do like a Instagram live or something together, just like talking about stuff. I don't know what, but if you ever curate something like that, and be totally game for to like just be a part of something. Since 2008, yeah. We started working on a project 2008. But no, it's absolutely fine. I mean, now that he's here, I'm not going to say anything about him. Fuck that. Like, I don't want to say anything because it'll not come out to be correct. It's all the bashing that I have to do. Like, he's just really nice on the face. Yeah, I should do that. um, Ajay is just really nice on the face, but inside he's just really evil, man. And the framing, NG. He's really good, man. He's really is one of the best people that I've worked with so far. Um, and it's been so inspiring. I mean, okay, I'm gonna stop at that. Um, Damn, I see. Feel sorry for you. Actually, that's cool, man. I don't think we're. I think I've been told that this happens to pretty a lot of people, and like if it's happening to me right now, and if I learn from it, I think I'll be able to set up certain boundaries for myself and learn who to work with and who to not work with through this. And I think it's good to have for it to happen right now. Also, because this project, that particular Goa project, was not something that I was attached to, or I didn't spend too much time on it either, and that I don't really care for those people too much. So for me to realize that has been helpful because like the things that are important to you are not getting affected by it, so you can move on. Sachi, we break this cycle, bro. Yeah, Sachi, we should break some cycle. Uh, Probably your cycle. Um, but yeah, Aditya, yeah, 2008 should do it as well. I never get views though. Yeah, and that's Kara again. She has been following me around for a while. Um, she wakes me up early in the morning every morning, and I just want to sleep, but she wakes me up, and she's a very unique dog. I've been around multiple dogs in the past little while, but she's very unique. She doesn't care for pets. She doesn't care for petting. She's just somebody who she when she wants something, she's gonna get it one way or another, and she can bite really hard. If there are three things that I have to tell you about her, so that's it. This is a Santur soap wash. My job right after this live stream is going to be pouring that into the hand wash bottle so that it so that I can wash my hands again. And I'm in Gurgaon, and I'm going to be leaving for Bombay in another week or so at max. No, not even a week, like 5 days. And I haven't been to Bombay in 2.5 months, and I think it's going to be crazy. I'm not really looking forward to being in the monsoon, being in a room during the monsoon. Uh, but yeah, that's that. You have a dare for me, Ranak. Okay, what is the dare? Haven't been able to haven't been to Bombay since like a year. It's like a year. You miss Bombay? Okay, guys, can you just tell me one good thing about Bombay? Like any of you who like Bombay, can you just state things that are nice about Bombay, so that Aditya also and I both can go to Bombay and like when we feel terrible about being in Bombay, we can kind of think about that particular good thing. That'll be cool. Uh, Where are the testicles? In the beginning of this video, I started off by saying that I'm going to be disappointing you guys by not showing any testicles in this particular video. But I assure you that it'll possibly be available on another website at some point in life. And I apologize for that day as well. I love Bombay when it floods. That's not very nice, Sachi. Come on, man. Prithvi Cafe and the theater. I don't know. Are they still? Is it still open? I mean, maybe it is post lockdown. I mean, I'd love to watch a play, but Prithvi, isn't that very? The whole point of Prithvi is like it's super crowded and stuff. And is that like valid now? Or okay, let me reframe this. Things that you love about Bombay that is still relevant. Um, come to my place. Food for sure. Come to your place. Ronak. Okay, cool. Aditya and I can then come to your place. YouTube will age restrict this cause of the. Oh really? Oh really? Okay, cool. I mean, I was hoping all the 5-year-olds will watch my video, but okay. All right. I think this is substantial for now because I don't feel like I feel like I have a lot more to say, but I just wanted to come on board and kind of say hi and also say like speak about that particular incident before I go back to trying to make something of this day, as I wish you do too. And there's this really cool like PDF book that I've been reading, that I've stolen from the internet, um, which is called the Fran Lebowitz Reader. It's a New York. Fran Lebowitz is the person who's Lebowitz. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. But like she is Anji. On the Mac, you have Excel with you, right? No. Okay. You Google Docs. Yeah. Google Docs. Yeah. So when you download them, Excel sheet on your DocX or whatever. Yeah, XLS. Or XLS. Yeah. But Google Docs is installed in your. No. Yeah. No. It's not installed. It's just a website. There's a sheet. There's an Excel sheet. It can open on any app. I have Pages. Pages is another app. For Mac. Yeah. Okay, and it's very nicely compatible with Excel. Pages is the inbuilt app. It comes with the app with MacBook. Pages and Keynote. Excel. Do you have like 30 seconds? No, I have like. Can you just give me that? I'm gonna come in 5 minutes. Yeah. That happened. I'm living with my cousins and my nanny and my dog. If you don't, not my dog, my cousin's dog, and my nephew. I have a nephew now, which is around a baby in my life so far until now. Can you reply, please? I will, sure. I mean, I'll look it up on Instagram. If everything goes according to plan, I'll be making a commercial in Melbourne, and I'd love to have you too. Wow, for sure, man. I mean, you can make the commercial, and I'll just come to Melbourne and game for it any day. Pages is better than Microsoft Word. I agree. Microsoft Word is like a little bit dodgy. I've been looking up cameras. I don't usually look up cameras at all, but I recently looked up. I recently looked up the Blackmagic. I don't know if you guys are interested, but like the Blackmagic 6K Pro, the pocket version or whatever, like the new one that's just come out, and it's really cool. Like it's a really cool camera. Like when my father used to tell me that you should invest in gear, and I've never really done that because I'm not a DP and I don't really get in a lot of work related to shooting that actually pays me anyway. So I don't shoot anymore. Same thing happened with editing. I stopped editing, so I stopped making like stuff. But like that particular 6K Pro seemed like a really good investment. Like something that's I would love to have that. I would love to use that. I would shoot something just to be using that camera. So that could. I think in the past little while, I realized that I used to. So I think a lot of the films that I used to make on this particular channel or whatever, the stuff that was not really directly related to narrative short films where I wouldn't be collaborating with, people from DLP or from other, like where I would be the sole creator to whatever extent possible. Those projects were usually born out of being inspired by people who were already doing those things, such as such as Philip Bloom, for example. Now, I don't really like. I have no idea why I followed Philip Bloom, because I don't really understand what he does. Because the kind of imagery that he produces, at least in the visuals and the montages that he puts out, we used to put out anyway, like many years ago when I used to follow him, were okay. Like they were okay, but he had a huge following and everything. So I was like, what why? He was very well spoken, very interesting, like nice person as well, but and seemed like a very experienced person as well. But a lot of the work was okay. Um, but I was super inspired by him as well at the same time. So she's not going to stop. Okay. Okay, fine. Kara. Look. I hate doing this, but I'm going to do this again, once again, to get her out of this place. Are you ready? Are all of you ready? I want to hear one ready. Louder, 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 louder. Okay. Oh man. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Are you guys ready for this? Because she's gonna run the fuck away. Let her come. And कनिका निकालो, निकालो कनिका, कनिका निकालो. I'm going live with you, live in the background. That's fucking great, Sachi. Where is this live? Let's be live. Let's live together. Uh, Anyways, point being, Phil Bloom he was one of the people that I followed, and I've recently revisited his channel, and I realized he does a lot more tech reviews than shooting lately. So that's great for him. But then I was like, "Ugh." But then I started following him again recently, and I also started following Film Riot again, something that I used to start that I start used to follow quite a bit when I started out with like filmmaking, because they were, they had that spirit of like an independent filmmaker, of independent filmmaking, and they taught you so many frugal tips and tricks to actually create cool stuff. Likewise with Indie Mogul and a bunch of other YouTube channels that I stopped following at some point. I eventually left them away. But like it's 2021, I'm not doing a lot right now. I'm looking forward to doing things more, and like I'm looking forward to learning more about myself and stuff. But right now I'm not doing too much. So I should like just revisit what these people are up to, and it's just very interesting to see that when you watch something really cool, you feel like, yeah, that's how you feel when you watch something really cool. And I feel like you don't really, one's not able to watch or read or like consume things that are very, very cool or like very as much lately. Um, it's not that it was a lot in 2019 or 2018 before the pandemic, but it's just lately, like after there should be like an like before Christ, after Christ, there should be an after OTT, where like when YouTube died and like everything, Netflix died, everything died, like in the way of its culture and its niche completely got exhausted, and it became this massive mainstream media kind of thing. So until then it was very interesting. I think now I don't know, now I'm trying to find what is interesting to me, because I feel like I don't really know what the world is anymore. So I'm going to learn by like I'm looking at film right, and I'm like, still makes you feel great. You still watch or read something cool, and you feel like it's amazing. That things are worth it, and there is life. I watched like Fran Lebau, like I was reading Fran Lebau's Reader, because there's a show on Netflix by Martin Scorsese called Pretend It's a City. It's about New York. It's about Fran Lebowitz in New York and how she romanticizes New York overall, and about just about her life. And she's an author based in New York. She made me laugh a lot. That's the last thing that I watched that made me laugh a lot. And then I started reading her book, which is also really funny. And I keep like taking screen grabs from it, and possibly I'll post it on Instagram or something someday. But like really funny person, made me love New York. Maybe want to visit New York. I've never visited New York. New York City, and yeah, so those things. Also has this very like what Casey Neistat creates for you in your head, and what Fran Lebowitz creates for you in your head, and what Woody Allen creates for you in your head, and that's kind of preparing the idea of what a city is to you. Um, it makes you feel like the city has something in there that you want to see. Not that I'm not saying that's a great city that exists, but it's definitely worth visiting for me to just to understand what kind of energy it carries. And I do feel like cities carry a certain energy, especially, and it can vary for the kind of person that you are, the kind of people that you meet, etc. But that. So I was saying something. What was I saying? You read a book in a while or so? Yeah, that's just that one. Fran Lebow's reader. Um, right. What else? Sachi, you got to say something? You want to say something? I've forgotten what I was saying. I've lost my chain of thought. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe I'll come back sometime. I started using Clubhouse, and I thought I didn't get it yet. I don't get it so far. Maybe I will get it at some point. I'm sure it's a cool place, but I don't get it yet. Like, I don't know how to use it yet, because the clubs that I've come across so far are like take your shot, try your shot, or something, where people just like very posh people just come on board and try to flirt with each other and throw pickup lines and see if they can DM each other and stuff, which felt a little bit like Ask FM and a little bit like Ask FM is like a decade old or whatever, but um, felt in vain, basically felt futile. But there must be like really cool things that are happening as well. Um, I just haven't come across them just yet. So yeah, things make you feel. Film Riot. Yeah, Film Riot. I mean, I really hope like Ryan Connolly makes a movie, a feature film someday soon, because he's been on that road and that journey for such a long time now. And I don't know. I mean, it'd be really cool. I think the world would have changed a little bit when Ryan Connolly makes a movie. There's this thing that I think read about. I was going through this some comment section somewhere where where there was a there was a post on Facebook where somebody was speaking about a very old ancient Indian book that revealed that India knew the diameter, the surface of the diameter of the surface of the Earth in 4000 BC or some date that I wouldn't be able to confirm yet. And long ago, before anybody else did. And then the comment section spoke about how Greece knew that 700 years before that. And then how India, the post was from, I think, an Indian um, media company, and that they were talking about how India just wants to like consistently, try and praise itself, etc. And there was another analogy where there was somebody else saying that everything starts in India and ends in India, and just speaking about the country in every form. And I was trying to understand what there was this term that kind of stuck with me, which was that somebody was speaking about how we were the first people to start sanitizing places, and like rather like having like specific places to have toilets in this country, and now the country is where people shit on the road. So the way that one would be able to define every way that India can be defined in terms of its social condition, its political condition, its whatever, every other condition, is what went wrong. Like, if India had to have a tagline, to me, it's like what went wrong. But this could be a very, very specific ideology. It does not cover everything. It's just where I am right now that's stating that to me, India is what went wrong. But it doesn't cover everything. It comes with like an asterisk mark with like valid only for the next 30 days till I feel differently. But that. Haven't tried that yet. Is it actually useworthy? What is useworthy? Clubhouse. I didn't get it, but yeah, I've been told I'm missing out, so I should definitely try it someday. Alvia, we need to collaborate someday soon, man. I hope you're doing something cool, but I really hope we're able to work along someday soon on whatever the fuck happens. I just spoke with Pranav just today. Pranav is the producer at Jawan Motion Pictures, another really fucking cool person. We were and before that, I was speaking with Abad. I don't get to have these conversations a lot with people, but like Ibad and I had spoke for 1.5 hours yesterday, and like we spoke about how the only way to like be finding a fruitful way of making films and enjoying making films through our times and through where we are in this current position, current place that we are in, is to have an ecosystem of people that you trust and appreciate and admire and love. And I feel like I don't really see filmmaking like that. I just feel like filmmaking is narrative storytelling, or like, like giving what a film needs to it so that it comes out to be something that shines and creates magic, I guess. But to see filmmaking, or like to be able to like see yourself as somebody who has to first allow that process to occur, and then to see that there needs to be an ecosystem to actually allow that, would be is interesting. Because I feel like maybe like when we used to do DLP, it used to work like that, but DLP was unthought of. Like it was unaware of what it was doing. We were just making stuff, and if it didn't, it stopped being sustainable when people had like priorities of like having to figure out companies and making money and like having an established career and learning even. We had to like find ways to. So we kind of did, spread across different places and just tried to like figure out our own ways through things, which is rather important, I feel. But I think that the idea of like people you trust is still very, very, very important. And I don't know how to build that yet, but like whatever it is, like I just feel like some of the people that I met have been like beautiful enough for me to like feel like yes, this can exist. Anyways, if you remove crime, I bet India will be a better place. Long discussion to have. Long discussion to have. But yeah, probably won't get into that. I watched another very cool thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop I know it's just gonna go on forever if I don't stop. Last thing I'm gonna say, which before I leave, two beautiful things I saw in the last little while. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. One is a show called Normal People. It was a book earlier. It's an Irish writer, if I'm not mistaken, who and it was she converted it into a screenplay, and they made a 10 or 11 episode or 12 episode show on, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is the most beautiful love story I have watched in since once 2007, which was in 2007. And so that definitely. And second one that I felt like gave me life, because you know media doesn't give me life lately, but I watched 20 minutes of Bo Burnham, who's a comedian in America. He has a Netflix special called Inside. I don't like stand-up comedy because I don't know, it doesn't seem funny to me, or just I feel like it's too spotlighty, does not have the magic of cinema. I feel like, in fact, Pretend It's a City has is how stand-up comedy should be done. Like, if there was somebody who's supposed to make this funny, if like specials need to be recorded, it should be recorded like Pretend It's a City. That's how I feel stand-up should be, in my opinion. That's how I found it funny anyway. That format really worked for me, as opposed to somebody standing on stage and trying to be funny. Um, then Bo Burnham Inside came in lately, and it's first 20 minutes I laughed and cried. Give it a shot if you feel like that's your thing. It's it's not stand-up comedy as much, at least in the first 20 minutes I've seen. And I'm not a fan of music comedy, but it just felt like something that's the only felt thing that felt real today. Yeah. Read this book called Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I'm sure you love that. I look into it. Anxious people. Are they talking about me, or is this another set of anxious people? Anxious people. I'll look it up. Oh wait, come on. Is that? Oh come on. Is this a joke? No, it is an actual thing. Because anxious people sounded like something that you were mixing up from with like normal people, and then using Fran Lebowitz instead of saying Fran Lebowitz, you were saying Frederick Backman, which is would have been a very vague joke to crack, but always possible. Could have your guards up around funny people. Okay, stand-up comedy in a written format. I'll give that a shot as well. I'm gonna steal it from some website and absolutely not pay the author for what they deserve. All right, all right. Thank you guys for watching this material. I hope you have a fucking pleasant day, and and I hope we do this again. And I hope Aditya and Sachi, we both do something live, and Ronak and Ashi, and like whoever else wants to be a part of this, like we can do something that makes the world feel nicer. Okay. Bye.